All right, hello everybody. You are in the Red Cross, Be Red Cross Ready preparedness presentation. Hopefully you joined the right link. We're excited to have you all here. Just our plan for today, some quick introductions. I'm Molly McCormick. I'm a disaster program specialist with the Red Cross. I'm very excited to be here along with my buddy.
Finnegan Troach. I'm a specialist in the Red Cross in this preparedness, and I'm excited to be here too.
And we're also with our friend.
Hello, I am Burlie Williams. I am the disaster program manager and I work very closely with Molly. So excited to be here with you.
Fantastic. And our plan for today is to talk through everything preparedness, starting with building a kit and having a fun activity that goes along with that, making a plan along with some good resources for you, and staying informed, as well as some good technology that will help you to do that. And at the very end, we'll answer some questions for you. Along the way, if you have any issues, feel free to put it in the chat and we would be happy to, we've got Matt on the line helping us out with our technology, and I've got Burlie ready to answer questions if we need to stop and answer questions along the way. So we're gonna get right into it because at the end of the day, it's up to you all to be ready if an emergency happens. They can happen at any time, but it doesn't have to be scary if you know what to do. So being prepared means that you know how to help yourself. It means you know how to help your household and the people that live with you, your neighbors, and even older adults that are in your life. At the Red Cross, we say you're Red Cross ready when you can build a kit, make a plan, and be informed. Those are the three big things today. If you can remember those, you're in really good shape. That's right. And hopefully you saw the video already that Finn and I made the other day about how to build a kit, what needs to go into your kit, and how to customize it. First aid kit.
And then little small battery charger. And you may want to put a flashlight.
That's right. All kinds of goodies need to go into that kit. But before we get into any of those details, we're going to play a game. All right. And my friend Burlie is going to help me monitor this. This is a competition a little bit, but it's really just about having fun. When I say go in the next couple of minutes, you're going to have a category. I want you to, in the space you're in, whether that's at home, in an office, in a school, I want you to go find something that matches that category. When you do, you'll come back to the screen. You can either turn on your camera and show us what you found, or you can type it into the chat. Every time you find something that fits in one of our categories, your name is going to be written down and we are going to enter you into a drawing to win your very own Red Cross starter emergency kit. We'll get your information, we'll contact you and figure out a way to mail that to you. So we're ready to have some fun, right, Finn?
We're ready to go have some fun.
All right, so
let's go for this.
Let's go for it. Our first category, if you are ready, go find me a container. Can you go find me a container? You have 1 minute.
Go.
Oh, I see people moving and looking. Oh, I see one already. Very good. Is it, I see, is it Lindale? Lindale's got one. Burlie, are you seeing anything in the chat?
I don't see anything yet.
That's okay, we got a few more seconds. Ooh, okay, the ODC crew has one. All right, very good. When it comes to a container, oh, there we go. Oh, I have it. Thank you for that correction. And there. Wonderful. When it comes to a container, it can be anything from,
It can be anything from a bag like this. It can be a bag like that.
or even a big box, whatever.
Even this big box.
So, very good. Everybody has containers in their house. You don't have to go out and get one. We're ready for our next category, right, Ken?
Just need to get up and look.
That's right. Next category, go find me something that keeps you safe. Go find me something that keeps you safe.
Go for it.
All right, if you're off camera, go ahead and show us what you got. I see people coming back, which is awesome. What did you get? Something that keeps you safe.
What did we get?
Ooh, a blanket, masks, emergency radio. Ooh, someone is prepared. I love
Yeah.
that. A roadside kit. These are
Love
great.
it.
Me too, Ben. Awesome.
Love that. God, if only I was that, if only I could be that prepared all the time.
Hand sanitizer, absolutely. Great answers.
Absolutely.
And great answers. Burlie's writing down all of our folks that are participating. All right, we're ready for our next category.
Ready for the next one.
Go find me a hygiene item. Go find me an item that helps you stay healthy.
Go.
Oh, Crystal, you are fast. Body wash.
Wow.
Oh, wipes. Excellent answer. Sanitizer. That was a win-win. Matt, do you still need me to make you a co-host? Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry, folks, for that technical moment.
Sorry, I accidentally made you the host at that point,
No
and I
worries.
lost all my controls, so I should be good now. So you can go back to sharing your screen.
Perfect. That's the life in Zoom, I
Yes, it
suppose.
is.
No worries. Cool. Let's see what answers we have. I got to pull up the chat. Toothbrush. Excellent. A couple of toothbrushes. Wonderful. Those are all great answers.
Wonderful.
When you're building your emergency kit, it's important to have some of those things ready to go, because if you have to be either stuck inside your house, or if you're going to be leaving your house because of a disaster or an emergency, you're going to want to have those things to stay safe and to feel clean. So all good examples. We're going to do one more Go Find Me, because you guys are rocking it out. I'm so impressed with the things you're able to find. So our last Go Find Me something that will keep you alive. Go find me something that will help you stay alive.
Go.
Ooh, fast. Someone claimed water. Excellent answer. Garditos, that's a great snack, and we definitely need food, so energy bars. Popcorn, canned food, excellent answer. We want to make sure that food is non-perishable, so it's not going to go bad over a long period of time. You all are making me hungry. Finn, are they making you hungry? Wonderful. All
I might
right.
have to go get me a snack after this. You guys are making me hungry.
Wonderful. All right. This was super fun. Thank you all for participating with us. Just kind of a good way to get you up and moving, even though we're kind of stuck on our computers today. So the important thing is to remember when you're making your kit, a lot of the times you have the things you need ready to go. It's those essential everyday items that you need, like water, like food, especially things like canned food, even those Garditos, they can last a long time. So putting them in that container, that bag, that box that you already have handy, you're ready to go. Maybe you need to make a quick stop at Walmart or Walgreens and pick up a little first aid kit, but those little things you can add in time, right?
Yeah,
The important thing is just to start.
just to get started. And also I forgot to add, if you got meds, bring them with.
That's right. Make sure you have extra medication. And that goes into the idea that you have to customize your kit. Everybody's kit needs to will look a little different. It's about what you need. If you need medicine, like Finn mentioned, if you have pets. Finn, do you have any pets?
Yes.
That's right. So in his kit, he's going to have things for his pets to keep them safe too. And we all have different comforts that we need. So it can be stressful. Make sure you have things that help you to deal with stress as well. But now we're going to switch over to from making a kit to making a plan. And I'm going to throw it over to Finn. Go ahead, bud.
Okay. Now, the first thing you want to know is that a disaster can happen at any time. And it could happen to you with very little to no warning whatsoever. So don't think, I'll be safe. And then all of a sudden it happens and you're like, oh my God, you'll be like, oh my God, I should have made a kit.
Should have made a kit, should have made a plan, right, bud?
Should have made a kit. I should have made a plan.
All right.
Now, tell me, what are some disasters that happen around in this state, most specific in this country, most specifically here in Wisconsin?
What hazards do we face? Go ahead and put it in the chat. What do you see, Ben?
Fire, flood. Very good. Thunderstorm, tornado, blizzard. Very good answers.
Very good answers indeed. All right. It's important.
Thank you all for participating.
That's right. So it's important to know those hazards so that
Yep.
you know how to make the best plan possible. So very good answers. I think they got them all. Ooh, there's one that we didn't mention, and it's new to Wisconsin, but we did have a couple of times this summer. There's one they didn't mention.
We didn't mention. There's one I forgot to say. Extreme heat.
Extreme heat. It's not normally in
It's not
Wisconsin.
normal, but
It's happening, right?
but it's becoming more and more apparent every day.
That's right. So important to have a plan for each one of those situations.
Yes.
So go ahead, Finn.
So you're gonna want to consider some likely disasters. You're gonna want to consider the household people that travel all the time. You're gonna want to make sure consider those that are in wheelchairs or that use a walker or and stuff like that. You may want to consider those with anxiety issues, but I wouldn't really recommend it. And you're also going to want to consider your pets and service animals as well. Now, here's a template of what you'll want to do. Now, you're going to want to get some emergency contact information in case something happens.
And you all have access to that template. We provided it in the materials. So it's just an easy way to get that plan started. And in that plan, we need to include the right details.
Yes, so you want to know how to evacuate, where to meet, and how to communicate, obviously. Important records, where you're gonna stay and your shelter in place. And you want to practice that plan. Practice it as much as possible, as much as you need to. Every 3 hours if you have to.
The important thing, 3 hours, is just a way to say it's so important to not only make a plan, but you have to practice it. So that way, when that emergency hits, when you're feeling stressed, you know what to do because you practice.
You'll know what to do because you've done it. You've done it a million times.
That's right. Love it.
Now what you want to do is once you've made that card, you want to carry it everywhere you go, every last place, and you want to memorize the emergency contact. So let's say I'm somewhere camping and I burn myself. I'd want to have a contact to say to let my family know I hurt myself while I was out at what was supposed to be a fun time. And yeah,
Excellent.
that's very important.
It is very important indeed. This is another thing that you can find in the resources attached to this session. So they're easy to print and easy to carry with you. Just like Finn said, take it everywhere.
Now let's talk specifics here. Now we've got home fire. Now the house fire causes, usually what causes it is somebody cooking and not paying attention. Now here's a story about that. So when I lived in Coon Valley, I was about 8 years old. My neighbor that lives across the street had a fire in his, and I'm gonna say his kitchen. And I'm going to assume, I don't know that this is what happened, but I'm going to assume that the reason it happened is because he was cooking something and then he just walked off and went off, did a few other things, and then all of a sudden, boom, his kitchen lit on fire. All of a sudden we had a fire.
So at the Red Cross, we actually have an expression. We like to say, keep an eye on what you fry. Because as you can see by our graph, home fires, the leading cause, just like Finn mentioned, is actually cooking, and they start in the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right. What else should they know, Finn?
Now, smoke alarms save lives. And you're gonna wanna install one on every floor, inside and outside of sleeping areas. You're gonna wanna test it every month, maintain it properly, replace it every 10 years. And whatever you do not disable it. Now I know there are people that have anger issues and things like that, drive them nuts. Don't disable the alarm, because God knows your house could light on fire. And you'll be thanking it later if you didn't if you weren't an idiot and disabled it.
So that's just so important because smoke alarms truly do save lives. If your alarm is beeping and annoying you, chances are it needs a new battery or it needs to be replaced. In fact, the Red Cross will actually come and install new alarms for you if you need them. All you need to do is get a hold of us. And we will put at the very end, we'll put that link in our chat. So that way, if you need smoke alarms, know that the Red Cross will come and we will get you all situated because we know how important they are and we want to make sure everyone's safe.
Now, on the next slide here, you should know what to do when your house lights on fire. You get out and then you stay out. Do not go back in. Now I know how much of a temptation it is to go back in there and go save someone or something valuable, but just don't do it.
Whose job is it to
It's
save?
a firefighter's job.
Let them do their
Leave
job.
that up to the firefighters. And one, you should find a escape route, safe escape route. And then if there's smoke, you gotta get low. You gotta crouch like this, or you're gonna be inhaling that smoke. And you want to meet at a designated meeting place and call 911 once everybody's safe.
That's right. And just like when we talked about making your plan, same deal here. You have to practice it. Practice getting in and out of your house safely and quickly. And how fast do they need to be, Finn? How fast?
2 minutes.
2 minutes or less.
Less.
That's right. Let's talk about what that looks like.
Now you're gonna want to have 2 exits from every single room. Now, I've got another story of a near disaster I had. Now one night I'm sleeping and I smell something burning. So I wake my mom up. I'm like, what's that? I'm like, what's that smell? Me and my mom are looking around. All of a sudden I see smoke coming out of one of my power bars. The power bar, so we unplugged the power bar had I have not noticed that smell, things would have been much worse.
Yeah. And so it's about being aware, right?
So gotta be aware. So you're gonna want to have 2. So back to my story. So back to my presentation here. You're gonna want to have windows and doors that open up easily. Escape ladders for second floors and above, and an escape route that's clutter free.
Yeah. You got to keep those rooms free so that you can get to the door easily and get to your window easily.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we need to know, Finn?
Now, in a closed room, you want to look for the smoke, feel the door. If the door is hot, don't open it. By all causes, don't open it. Leave it shut. And if you can't evacuate, you're gonna want to seal your door, block the air vents, and call 911 and signal. So that could be you hollering out. That could be your flashlight. If you got bright bright piece of clothing, hold that up in front of the window,
Yeah,
or right when the firefighter gets there, you smash your window, then they'll know you're right there.
yeah. So if you can't open your window, Finn's right. You want a way to even smash it if you can. Otherwise, signal for those firefighters when they get there. A trick a firefighter once taught me was that if you're on a second floor or higher, so if you live in an apartment building and you can't get out of the room, a trick is to throw things out the window. The first thing the fire department does when they arrive on scene is a 360 perimeter check. When they see a pile of clothes or a pile of pillows on the ground, that's a signal to them that they need to look up and they'll find you quickly. So that's a great way to signal if you're not able to get outside. It's little tricks like that,
Yep.
that talking about emergencies and making a plan for emergencies can help save your life,
That's what saves your life.
right? And the lives of people you care about. So
Yeah.
share that with your family, with your neighbors, anybody in your community.
Now, you're gonna wanna be brave and take action, because if you just pretend, oh, not a big deal, pretty soon you're gonna realize it's a big deal, and you may not live to tell the story.
The whole point is that these things can help save lives and you can help save other people's lives too. So they need to make a home fire escape plan like we talked about.
You need to make a home fire escape plan, test your smoke alarm, and practice your escape plan. Practice it, like I already said, practice it every 3 hours if you got to. This is the most important thing you could ever have in your whole life.
So remember to practice it, make a plan,
Yep.
practice it. Now for winter storms, right, Finn?
Now off to the winter storms. So you wanna, so if you got a snow shovel, great. We're gonna need a snow shovel. You're gonna want some ice melt, some warm clothes, and a kit in your vehicle. Now I know what you're thinking. Finn, that sounds ridiculous. But Finn, that's ridiculous. Why would I have a kit in my vehicle? Well, one, be better prepared. And two, if you're trapped in your vehicle and you got nowhere to go, you want to have that kit.
Absolutely. Having that kit in your car could save your life.
Yeah.
All right, so we know that we have to enhance the kit. We also have to tailor the plan. What does that mean?
So you're gonna want to identify a warming center somewhere, and prepare for your power to just go out. And
Right.
another story about that. Now, it was April of 2018, and this is unusual for there to be a winter storm in April, but an ice storm, I mean. So the ice was so hard, it was snapping the power poles off like toothpicks, and my power went out. And I didn't really plan for it. I learned the hard way. I probably should have, because my power was out for like 4 hours that day.
Yeah, and 4 hours in cold weather leads to some unsafe conditions. So that's why we ask that you have a plan for if the power went out during the middle of the winter. A lot of us depend on the power to keep our houses warm. So what are you going to do if that happens? Identifying warming centers, like Finn said, but if your community doesn't have a warming center, they might have a church or an emergency building that you would be able to go to. So it's just about finding that out
Now,
and putting it in your plan.
if you got a wood stove, no problem. like my grandparents do, that's no problem. If your power goes out, then well, you still got a warm house, because your wood stove normally doesn't require power.
That's right. And that's why it's good to think about what resources do I have and tailor it to your plan. Everybody's plan looks a little different because of what you have already and what you put into place. So other than tailoring your plan, you have to stay informed, right, Finn? What does that mean?
Yes.
What do
That
they need
means
to do?
you're gonna want to listen to the updates and instructions and stuff like that. And if you're not doing that, I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't.
And we're going to give you, Burlie's actually going to give you some more tools later about how to stay informed. But let's learn a little more about winter storms. So before the storm hits, what should
Before
people
the storm
do?
hits, you're gonna want to check your disaster kit. Excuse me. You're gonna want to prepare to stay indoors for multiple days. It could be 2 weeks before you get to go out sometimes. And monitor the local news and the NOAA radio
Yeah.
cast.
Remember when we played the game earlier, somebody
Yeah.
had one of those radios, which was awesome to see. And just like Finn said, that 2-week period, when you build your kit, it's important to have supplies up to 2 kits, especially, or 2 kits, 2 weeks, especially during the winter, in case it's not safe to go outside, especially here in Wisconsin. We get some pretty big storms. Yeah. All right. So, Finn, you talked about this a little bit. Will you give more details?
Well, I talked about this a little bit, but say you get stranded in the middle of nowhere, you're gonna want to stay in your vehicle. You want to display a trouble sign. So, if your car, if your car just like, so if your car completely dies, like everything's gone, not even the horn works, then you're gonna want to either roll down the window and wave, or put something out in front of the antenna or something. But if, let's say, the transmission goes out, you can just honk the horn.
Yeah.
So, and you're gonna want to call like a tow truck or something for help, and maybe the ambulance if necessary, and run the engine for short periods of time if the engine's still good, to heat the car, move around in the car. And if you've got others in the car, you want to huddle up.
All great ways to think about before winter ever happens. What are you going to do in your car? And just like Finn mentioned, have a kit in your car. It's just going to be a good idea to keep you safe. And now we're going to throw it over to Burlie.
Now we're going to throw it over to Burlie. Go ahead, Burlie.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Turn my camera on again in case you can see me. So there's lots of ways to stay informed. Each community actually has their own way of making sure that they're able to give you notice of what's going on. It could be sirens. It could be through the local TV station, or maybe the radio. Yep. And so anyway, the best way to kind of look into that is you can just Google, Google the county that you're in and emergency notification, and then it'll tell you how that'll work. So and then, another good idea is connecting with your neighbors and your family. And so if something is going on, you can both keep yourself safe as well as keep those that you love safe by making sure everybody knows what's coming and what we're going to do. let's go to the next slide. Oh, okay. So this is what I think this is one of the most important things that I've learned, I would say, probably in the last 10 years. I have always been a little confused about the difference between advisories and watches and warnings. And so this is great to be able to kind of think about what the differences really are. So when you're thinking about an advisory, what it is we have gotten a forecast that there is some winter weather that's expected, and we think it's going to be hazardous. So really the idea behind this is start thinking about it, kind of think about what you might need to do to be prepared for that. The next is kind of as it gets more heightened up is a watch. So with that, it is that the storm is possible in the next couple days. And then, and really with a winter watch, it is significant, as you can see, significant snow or sleet or ice. So you really want to be ready and you want to be watching. And then the next from there is warning. And that is really when it's coming. Either it's here already or it's going to be here in the next 24 hours. So it is a situation where you need to, maybe it's taking cover or making sure you're not going anywhere. You know, if there is a winter warning, you don't want to get in the car and go for a drive. You want to stay home. So when I'm thinking about this and how I kind of got it into my head is between watch and warning is watch is you're looking at the sky, you're listening, you're thinking, hey, oh,
Hold on, we're just gonna use my microphone.
okay.
All right.
All right. So
The
idea,
hey, great to be flexible, right?
right?
So the difference between watch and warning, and how I've been able to kind of embrace it and really think
Wait,
about
hold up a second. Hold up a second.
When you're watching out, you're
Hold up a
looking at the
second.
sky, you're listening, you're starting to hear that something might be happening. So you're paying attention. You are starting to
you know, actually kind of read notices, kind of watching the news a little bit more, listening to the radio. The warning means that it is coming. You've gotten the warning. You need to pay attention. You need to get somewhere safe and stay there. So anyway, I think that's really, really important to understand the differences in that. And thank you, Lindale, for letting me know that I was cutting out because I was just rolling with it there. And we'll go with the next slide here. So
talk about that a little bit in winter storms. Another thing to think about and understand, which I'm sure a number of you do, is the idea about the wind chill. So when folks are talking about wind chill, what that really is low temperatures
combined with the wind. And so when that goes together, it creates a dangerous situation.
We're having some issues here.
Okay.
So
all right.
you're going with
Working
Molly's?
Is it working okay now?
No, you got two
Everybody
mics
hear
going in that room. You got
Matt, I can't hear you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
you got two mics in that room. So either talk on one or the other.
Got it.
Yep. So either Molly should be.
Okay. So
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 try
you
again,
still
we'll try
have
again with
two.
mine.
You still have
Oh,
You still have two mics. Okay, there you go.
The idea with wind chill is really to pay a lot of attention to it when the temperatures drop, as they do in Wisconsin. I love the winter, but you have to just really be careful. And when there's a wind chill advisory or a watch or a warning, you need to be extra careful because you can very quickly get frostbite. So let's go on to the next one. Different ways to make sure you can stay informed. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty lazy. I don't want to be always checking Facebook or always watching the news or always checking Twitter. That kind of bores me. So what I do instead is I rely on these tools to be able to help me understand what's coming on and what's going. So to kind of reiterate the emergency contact cards that we talked about earlier, it's really important to have that with you. So even if, say, like if your cell phone's not working or maybe your battery died, you would still have that phone number to be able to use somebody else's cell phone to call. Another thing that we mentioned here is a Safe and Well website. That is really easy to find. All you got to do is type in safeandwell.org, and it'll help you get connected to that. So really what the idea behind that is if you're in an area with some weather that's a little scary and maybe your friends or your family's worried about you, you can go out into Safe and Well and list that you are fine. And then that way they know that they don't need to worry about you any longer. The apps that we wanted to highlight here, there are two. The first one is the app. The second one is the emergency app. So it's really easy to find these. All you got to do is go to redcross.org and then apps, and then it'll come up. You can also just search in the Apple Store, Google Play, and those will come up there. So the emergency app is really the one that I use a lot. So can we go to the next screen there? No, it was kind of running slow. So that emergency app, I use it all the time. So it's kind of a fun app. As once you download it, it has quizzes you can take. It goes over the different hazards, information and background on those. It can also, you click on the map, it can immediately show you, if there's anything going on in your area. The thing that I like the very best is you can customize it to places that
can we interrupt for a sec? Can I interrupt
Yeah.
for a sec? Can I interrupt for a sec? Molly, could we try what you did again? Could you, Burlie, you need to mute your mic, and then Molly, you flip your laptop over and unmute yours. But Burlie, you need to mute your mic on whatever device you were on, and that's got to be muted.
All right, no problem.
Just me.
Hopefully it sounds okay now. So
It doesn't look like you're muted.
It is on mine. Matt, can you just mute me forever?
Yeah, I tried and it won't let me.
All right,
It won't
well,
let me. So it sounds better now, but that other PC doesn't look like it's muted. So you're in the, you hit the microphone button down at the bottom and you hit that and it says muted at the bottom of your screen.
yep, I did. So why don't I'll just kind of come out and
Okay.
hey, thank you everybody for being so flexible with us here, and sorry about that. So where was I? Oh, I promise not to just keep talking on and on about this, but I love the emergency app. And what I love about it is I can put in my hometown of Madison. I can put in where the other office is, La Crosse. And so I have those in there. So in case something is going on. I also have my mom's address, which is in Illinois. And so a real quick story about that. A couple years ago, I was driving along to a meeting, and all of a sudden that emergency app went off, and the siren just through the emergency app started going, and it scared me pretty hard. So I pulled over to the edge of the road, a safe place, of course, so that I could actually look at my phone. And I could see that it was actually happening in Illinois, where my mom lives. And so I quickly called my mom and said, hey, there's a tornado warning. Please, can you grab Dad and get down to the basement? And luckily, they actually have a weather radio that they listen to. And so she was able to say, don't worry, honey, we're already there. So anyway, I love it. It's completely free. And it is a great way to, as long as you got your phone on you, you don't necessarily need to worry so much about what's going on, because this app will keep you safe. All right, I'm done. And thank you again for your patience with my technology issues.
Hey, everyone. And I actually saw in the chat, there were some great questions. And so I'm going to start with those, but we've got 10 extra minutes just for questions. We know that emergencies and disasters can be confusing. Finn's going to come back and join us too.
If I can.
If he can, he's stuck. It wouldn't be a disaster presentation without a little disaster built in. So just be ready for anything, right? So while I'm answering these first questions, think about if there's any more information you'd like on a certain topic that we had today. If we didn't cover something and you have questions, because we didn't spend a lot of time on tornadoes or thunderstorms, we were trying to focus on right now. Right now it's fires that we are worried about. It's also going to be winter storms very soon, even though we don't want winter to come yet. And anything that was confusing that we talked about. But looking at the chat, and I'm gonna pause sharing for a second, or even stop sharing, so I can see the chat better. The question that first came up was, having bought that emergency escape ladder, number one, that's awesome. A lot of people don't even get that far, so thank you for doing that. And the question is, how often should we practice, or how can you practice safely with the kids? Hold on, there we go. It says, any suggestions on how to safely practice with kids from the second floor when we can't open the ladder?
I think that's a really good one.
It is a really good one. And I'm trying to think of, so with that question, the big thing for me is having a conversation with the kids, making sure that they know the steps for each one, even if it's miming that action, opening the window, going to the window, how they would be, and just practicing the motions with them frequently. It wouldn't be a bad idea to actually practice doing it once, but if you want to do it on a routinely basis, once a year, twice a year, every time you check your smoke detector batteries, going through the motions, that muscle memory is going to be really helpful. And that's my biggest recommendation in that kind of situation. If you are having any issues with your ladder or knowing how it works, local fire departments are really good about coming out and helping you learn how to do that. They want people to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're always willing to come help you with those individual safety products. They can kind of do a safety check on your house for you. So if you have any issues or questions about even a fire extinguisher, your smoke alarms, a escape ladder,
Yeah.
you can call your local fire department as well. Another question that we got in the chat earlier was, what if you're in a wheelchair and can't get low?
And can't get low. When
So
I suppose you know, if you still got use of your arms, you could use your arms and just scoot along on your arms. But if you're totally paralyzed, then well, then
they just want to get out quickly, right,
yeah,
Finn?
you just want to get out as fast as you can. Even even if it means somebody's got to get you in your, even if it means you've got an ALS patient, you got to put them in their chair, or you could just carry them out of the house.
And the nice thing about that wheelchair is you're already a little bit lower. Cover up, cover your mouth. These things come in handy for more than just our current environment. So just cover your face. The idea is that you want to not breathe in smoke. Oh, somebody had a really good suggestion. Practice climbing up and down rope ladders at playgrounds. I love that suggestion. Thank you, Hunter, for making that suggestion.
Very good suggestion, actually.
Oh, Crystal, thank you for clarifying. The ladder can only be opened once. If we open it, we'll have to buy a new one. I understand now. There's different types of ladders. And I understand what you're asking. And I think Hunter brought up a really good point, having them practice on something that's like it for the sensation, but then having them practice what they would do, those motions in the room. They're going to grab it, they're going to go over here, and just don't practice the actual physically climbing from the window with that ladder.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of playgrounds recently that actually had like the rope ladder, where because me and my niece were playing with that. And so maybe just kind of take a drive around your neighborhood and around your town and see if you can find one. This is an idea. I found a couple in the small town. So
Well, good questions. You're making us think, and I like it. Matt, is everybody able to come off mute? Okay.
Everybody
He's shaking his
should,
head.
they should be able to
Okay.
unmute now.
Wonderful. If anybody wants to come off mute and ask a question, you can always, raise your hand if you want, but we're a pretty good sized group that you can just kind of start and we'll go from there. Are there any other questions that people had from today's presentation?
Hey Molly, this is Edward Castron. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate, because I'm in a wheelchair, so I in my apartment, so I really appreciate that explanation about if there's a fire, because our building really doesn't talk about it. There's no safety, we don't talk about safety plans, so I really appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks, Ed. And I love that you care. I'm just going to say, you can advocate. Tell your building you guys want to come up with a plan together. If you have a building manager, talk to them about having a plan for your building too. All right? Because
Okay.
that's always a good idea.
Hi, Ed.
Hi.
How are ya?
Good.
Hey, this is a subject. I just wanted to let you know that Dean died this last week, so there's been nothing on site. So anyway, thank you, American Red Cross. You've done a really nice job. This has been very informal. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that feedback. And we've got tons of information on our website. If you go to redcross.org/prepare, you can get all kinds of extra checklists. You can take quizzes. It's a good resource to check into. I know that I've learned a lot just exploring that webpage.
Hey Molly, here's another question again. This is Edward again. Is there a way we can get a copy of this presentation, or is it?
Yeah, Ed, great question. I know we recorded this presentation, but we've also included the PowerPoint that we used, the template for the emergency plan that Finn talked about. There's a checklist for how to build your kit. That should all be on the website for the conference. If you don't find them, my email, I'm going to put it in the chat for you.
Okay.
Any
And you
extra
recommend
questions?
downloading that app, that Red Cross app that you were talking about?
Yeah, I'll send that too.
Who won the contest?
So we're gonna do the drawing afterwards, and we'll contact the individual that won. So just because we had so many great participants, you all did amazing, had great answers. we will contact you if you were the winner afterwards, because we'll have to do a drawing. But we wanted to make sure we answered any extra questions before we ran out of time.
Who is the one beside you?
This guy,
Yep.
that's Finn.
Hi,
Hey,
Ben. Nice job today. You did a really good job.
thank you.
Finn is one of our new preparedness volunteers.
I'm one of the new volunteers.
Cool.
And if any of you are interested in volunteering with the Red Cross, we would love to have you. You can either shoot me an email. Yeah, we would love to have you. Or you
We
can
used to
check
have
out
it
the
in
website.
Appleton. I don't know if we do anymore. I don't think so.
You do, yeah. We have a Red Cross office in Appleton, don't we?
Well,
Burlie?
they sold the one out on is it Wisconsin? They sold that one. So I don't know where the new one is.
And actually, you know, even if the physical buildings aren't actually that important, because Molly and I are always going to wherever folks are. So we actually don't have an office here in Viroqua where we're doing the presentation. And so it's regardless of where you are, we will come to you, you know, because we have chapters all over Wisconsin and the UP. And we're always kind of on the road trying to connect with folks. So just because there's not an office there, you know, Molly and I, we support 18 counties between us.
Wow.
And so we can only be in one place at one time. So
Right. I'm from
office
Appleton.
doesn't
so-
matter.
I'm from Appleton, so I don't think we have any.
Well, there's ones really close by. So and they'll bring it to you. So please sign up. We would love to have you.
I don't,
Any last questions? We've got about a minute left before we need to wrap things up.
I don't have a question, but a suggestion for people that are building their kits. You can get a lot of the supplies at Dollar Tree. So that's a low cost, easy way to get a full kit. There are a lot of channels on YouTube too that are about, you know, preparing and having a kit and building a bug out bag or making a car kit. If you need more information that way, I just thought I would share that.
I love that. Yeah, thank you.
Great suggestion,
Because it doesn't take a lot to
that-
make the kit, right?
because it doesn't take a lot. You just gotta have the willpower to do it and the motivation to wanna stay alive.
I love that suggestion. Thank you very much.
This is Nancy Alar. I have another quick question. Are you available to do this type of presentation to other groups in Wisconsin?
Nancy, you're like my favorite human being right now. Yeah, we do these presentations all over the state. Our mission here is to get as many people better prepared as possible because we know what a difference it makes. So feel free to contact me if you'd like us to set up a presentation. Burlie and I are in Southwest Wisconsin, but we work really closely with all of the Red Crossers across Wisconsin and even the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So please reach out. We would love to come and do more presentations like this. All right.
Do you guys come to the northwest part of Wisconsin?
Yeah, we sure do. We have an office located in Altoona, but like Burlie said, we travel. So every county in Wisconsin, we can figure out a way to get there. Sometimes we do presentations in libraries. We'll come to your building. We can do a Zoom meeting, whatever you want. We're pretty flexible.
I'm
And
way up north. So
that's okay. You'd be surprised how far we travel.
I know you guys do blood drives up here and stuff. So I didn't know.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So like I said, though, feel free to contact me if you'd like to set up a presentation or just get more information about our presentations. If you have other questions, if you have like a specific question about being better prepared, I love answering questions. Burlie loves answering questions. We're just here to help. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Otherwise, we're a little over on time, so I'm gonna say goodbye for now. Thank you all so much for being amazing and joining us and sitting and just learning with us today. So thank you for joining.
One last quick thing.
Bye.
Do your presentations cost anything?
Oh, Nancy, again, favorite person. No, they're completely free. Everything that we offer through our disaster cycle services is free at the Red Cross. So just trying to keep people safe. Great question. All right. On that note, we'll say goodbye. Thank you again. And we'll see you next time.
Bye for now.
Bye.